Something happens when you get to $100,000. Things get hard. Why is that? You're growing your business. Everything is fine. And then a wall shows up. How did things get so hard? Why did things get so hard? Let's talk about that right now. Hey, it's Alzay Calhoun with Coveted Consultant. Today I want to introduce a concept to you. I think this is a business challenge that you feel in your stomach, but you haven't articulated it. I think it's something that you know is going on intellectually, but you can't seem to plot it out very plainly. Today I want to talk about what we're calling the $100,000 wall. There's something that happens in your business when you hit this $100,000 mark. It's like things all of a sudden get hard. So let's talk this through so we can both understand it. What am I talking about? You're growing your business, everything is fine. But as you're growing your business and working really hard, there's something that happens when you get to $100,000 in revenue. It's like the business needs something different from you, but you don't know how to respond to it. Some people, something happens when you get your first $100,000 contract. And it's like everything was fine until we got these bigger contracts, and now things get hard. The business asks different questions of you, and you're not quite sure how to respond. Right? So I want to use this video to highlight this. So I think it'll give us a framework to discuss this better. So here we go. So most of us begin our business here. We begin our business as some version of freelancer or solopreneur or independent contractor or consultant. We use one of these names. The names doesn't really matter, but we're more or less driving the business by ourselves. This is where we start. And the aspiration is to get here, is to grow into a firm or an agency or a studio or a company or a business. We could use any of these terms, but they more or less mean the same thing. So we're trying to transition from this place to this place. Here's what I've learned in working with people like you for years now. This wall shows up. All of a sudden, you were growing your business, typically via referrals and maybe freelance marketplaces, growing with your professional network, and you wanted to move from A to B, right? From freelancer to firm. But then something happens right here in the middle. Like you were going fine and you were getting business and you were meeting people and everything was growing, everything was cool until you get here and things get hard. What happens here? I think there are two big ideas that happen here. We're gonna build on this as we go. There is a challenge that shows up. You have to now sell to strangers. As you move from freelancer to firm, there is the growth now requires you to sell to strangers. Your personal network can no longer support the business. Your referrals can no longer support the business. Getting freelance deals can no longer support the business. It just doesn't fuel the business with enough cash, enough growth, enough momentum. So now you got to find a way to sell to strangers, and you don't know how to do that. Sure, you've hired a marketing agency, you've hired a salesperson, you've created tons of content, you've done cold email, you've done warm email, you've tried all kinds of different approaches, you've paid advertising, etc. You throw marketing at the problem, but marketing won't get you over to B like you want. It's just not happening. The second big thing that happens here is you're finding it very difficult to replace yourself. You know you need help, support, teams, structures, so that you can function well on the other side. But you can't hire well. You can't find someone who can do the work. Your freelancers are flighty. No one seems to have the right set of skills. Your employees aren't dedicated. You start using terms like that. What I'm trying to highlight for you here is that what we're describing, those two issues together, that's the wall. That's the wall. These are not things that you can just market beyond. You can keep throwing money at the problem. It won't get you over the wall. You can hire anybody you want and keep throwing bodies at the problem. That won't get you over the wall. The thing about this wall, this $100,000 wall, because these issues normally show up somewhere around $100,000. The thing about the wall is you have to climb it. So you can walk as far as you can walk. And good for you, you've come a long way. But getting over this wall requires new skills. It requires new habits. It requires new disciplines. You can't walk over the wall. You got to climb over the wall.